Hi, welcome to SBR TV. I'm Peter Loshak. We are going to continue our Triple Crown coverage with Reload once again, talking about the Preakness Stakes this week. Reload gave us some great analysis on the Kentucky Derby last week, and he picked Nehru as his pick, which was a good pick, coming in second place. Reload, thanks for doing this.
Hey, it's great to be back again, Peter.
So what did you wind up betting on the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, I took Nehru to win in place. Lost the win ticket, but won the place ticket. $8.80 to place, which is pretty good. And I did use Nehru in quite a few matchups and collected on those as well.
Right on. All right. Well, we'll start looking at the Preakness Stakes. Before we start talking about it, I will tell you that there is one horse that I'm kind of liking a lot. I'm interested to see what your take on it is. But first, let's talk about all the top choices. The favorite, of course, is Animal Kingdom, who right now the bookmaker futures have him at 5-2, and then there's Mucho Macho Man, Dialed In, and Nehru all at 4-1. That's on the futures odds at bookmaker. What do you have to say about any of those four horses?
Well, I'll say that Animal Kingdom, for starters, ran a great race in the Derby, closed really nice for the win. It was his first start ever on dirt, which I know surprised a lot of individuals, including myself, have performed that well. So I think the big question mark is, can come back 2 weeks later and do it again in the Preakness. At 5-2 or possibly even lower odds, I don't think it's worth that to find out. Really, in every Preakness, I don't think I've ever gone with the Kentucky Derby winner to win it again because the value is just not there at that point.
Animal Kingdom actually scares me. I agree with you that he's probably doesn't have a lot of value, but just looking at his performances, he ran a triple-digit buyer in the Derby. The horse I'm liking in this race, I'm probably not going to bet to win. I'm probably going to bet in matchup props because I think Animal Kingdom might really be might come and win this one. What do you think of Nehru here at 4-1? You think that's a decent bet again?
Yeah, I'm willing to stick with Nehru here for sure. I think that 4-1 is still a nice price. I think he would have won the Derby, but was outclosed by Animal Kingdom, who was just a matter of making the move at the right time. And I really think Nehru in general, that's really been what's caused him to lose his last three races. And Nakatani is going to be on the board again, and I think that that'll be his third straight start. And each time aboard, I think he's getting a better sense of what the horse can do and when to make his move in the stretch. I think as long as the odds do pay at least 4-1, the price is worth taking.
And then what's your take on Dialed In, the Derby favorite, beaten pretty badly in the Derby?
Yeah, well, we remember that last year Bob Baffert went through that situation. He had Looking at Lucky in the Derby, and Looking at Lucky was a big disappointment there. We know that Baffert, one of the best trainers ever, made some adjustments. And Looking at Lucky went on to win the Preakness. Didn't pay very much in doing it, but the one thing I'll go back to about Dialed In the Derby, which I did tell others, was that I did think he was a little green going into it. Only 4 starts, with the last 3 all happening at Gulfstream. So to adjust back to Churchill Downs, where he had won his maiden last year, could have had some jitters there in getting used to it again, getting used to Churchill again.
So you think that Dialed In might actually wind up being a good bet here?
I think he's a better bet here than he was in the Derby, that's for sure.
All right, and then let me get your take on the one horse that really caught my eye, and that's Sway Away at 11-1. I'm thinking that might be a horse that might have some real value, especially in matchup props against one of those top 4. What do you think?
Yeah, I took a good look at Sway Away, the son of a Fleet Alex, who a lot of horse followers remember did win the Preakness. When you look at some of these long shots, I think there are quite a few worth a look. Sway Away is one of them. Did not hold his lead in the Arkansas Derby, but the Arkansas Derby, I remember Nehru was a big closer there, as well as Arch. I think Sway Away could at least come in the money here. I don't think I would bet him to win or place, but if someone's looking to use some exotics and such, Sway Away could be right there.
Okay, and then so which of the other long shots that we didn't talk about do you think might be a bit of an overlay?
I've circled a few of them, actually, and Concealed Identity here's one we can talk about. Concealed Identity actually won the Tessio, which is right at Pimlico, back on Derby Day. It's run there. Typically, horses winning that do springboard into the Preakness.
Mm-hmm.
And Concealed Identity did well. He hit career high speed. In fact, it was a sports straight outing with increased speed figures.
What about?
And of course, it doesn't hurt that Smarty Jones is his father, who won both the Derby and Preakness.
What you mentioned his speed figures there. What about the fact that his best buyer has only been 86, which was in the Tessio?
It did catch my eye, but I think the key is that the speed figures are continuing to go up.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw him regress back to an 86, then I'd be concerned. But the fact that he's been at Pimlico for his last two starts, really no substitute for that. He's going to get to just break from the same gate and the same stable. And I'm reading right now he's being considered a 30-1 choice, and that's got to be an overlay considering all those factors.
All right. So just to sum up again, which ways are you going to be looking to bet this race?
Well, if Nero does run and it's confirmed he's in, I'm going to be going with him to win in place again.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the rest of my bankroll, I'm going to be spreading it out on a few long shots, Concealed Identity being one of them, who I just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to put a few bucks on Astrology. Here's a horse that, again, didn't have the earnings and such to make it into the Derby, but finished second in the Sunland Derby and has had actually 3 place finishes in a row. Hit a 93 buyer in the Jerome at Aqueduct last month. And I think, again, Steve Asmussen, who's also Nero's trainer, I'm going to stick with him, put a few bucks on Astrology as well.
All right. Great. Thanks so much. We'll see how it turns out.
All right. Thanks, Peter.